My name is Thomas Estler. I am Director of Storytelling and Prevention Programs for Saving Jane. And I've created a comic book series with the help of federal law enforcement agents and survivors and social workers to educate kids about human trafficking and give them proven tools to protect themselves. As you've heard, the victims of human trafficking tend to be young. They can be from every race, every social, economic background. And experts say that the best way to protect children is to educate them. And so we take our comic book workshops into schools and libraries and faith communities and YMCAs and homeless shelters like Covenant House. And we give kids tools to recognize a recruitment conversation. How do they know when they're being played? How can you tell the difference between a guy that's being nice to you, that's being friendly, that might really care about you, and a guy who wants to mess with you? So that was one. The next thing we teach them is how to deal powerfully with a predator or a trafficker. And finally, how do you, if you get into trouble, who do you go to for help? So these are the three skills that our comic book series teaches. So, and I do want to say, this comic book idea is much more successful than I ever imagined. They're doing a lot of research on comic books now. They find that you learn more and quicker from comic books than you do from straight text. And I think you can imagine, take a look at this picture right here. There's not much text on it. Isn't this beautiful? Isn't this picture beautiful? It's so romantic, I think. But take a look, is there anything that strikes you as maybe something wrong with it? Something not quite right?
The kid is really short and high.
Really? Doesn't there seem to be a disparity? And what is she? She's in high heels. Something's wrong with my voice. This weather. And so, anyway, as you can see, pictures, are worth 1,000 words. Listen, I just want to end by telling you, one, how human trafficking is happening in this neighborhood, which any of these panelists could tell you, and two, what you can do about it. One, in affluent neighborhood, you don't think that it's happening here, but let me give you a story that was just told to me by someone working in foster care, but this is not a foster care story. So imagine a young woman on the Upper West Side or the Upper East Side, beautiful, young, 13, really coming into herself. She doesn't have play dates anymore. She goes over to her friend's house to hang out. She or her friends come over to her house, and there's also another apartment in her neighborhood that no parents know about. And the guy who owns it's so cool. And he has the apartment's tricked out with all the things that young people love, all the games, all the food. And maybe they'll have a little alcohol or anything that the parents won't allow, and that will mean that location is completely secret. Because once you take a drink or you get tickets to go to a concert that you're not allowed to go to, or if you're engaged in some activity that your parents wouldn't allow, then you're going to keep that a secret. You have to. And so the guy who owns the apartment will introduce the young lady to other young people, another young man who maybe, he says, I think he has a crush on you, and the young woman, and he'll say things to the young woman like, you're so much more adult than your parents give you credit for. That's every young person's dream, right? To be told that. And this young woman will be encouraged to explore, romance for the first time, which she's, been thinking about, and so maybe she'll start dating, and she'll feel like she's becoming a woman, and she's developing this, her ownership of her body, and once that happens, the owner of that apartment will encourage her, just say, I have this guy I want you to meet. He's a little bit older, and I have to stop now. He's a little bit older, but I think you'll really like him. He's been around the world. And so he starts setting up dates with these young, affluent, Upper East Side, Upper West Side girls, and they think they're going on dates. But that guy's getting paid. So anyway, what can you do? Listen, all I want to say is that we are all affiliated with kids. What if we all took responsibility for empowering the young people in your life to understand what human trafficking is and empowering them with the tools to protect themselves? Our whole country is really in this communication about sexual assault and sexual exploitation. These are tools that they'll be able to use for the rest of their life. If you are involved with kids, for instance, in a school, or we're right next to the YMCA, or maybe you are involved in a faith organization and there's Sunday school or Saturday school, I encourage you to make an impact on the kids that you know and you have access to, grandchildren, nieces, nephews, the kids in your apartment building. Please partner with us. Kids talk their way out of their regular classes when they hear a comic book workshop is coming to school. And they get so absorbed into these comic books. It's like, because it's their entertainment preference, it's like getting absorbed into your favorite movie. They end up memorizing every single word. Come and talk to me afterwards. I've gone over my 5 minutes. Thank you so much, Paul.